সিনেমা নিয়ে পড়াশোনা করছিলাম তখন I think I was here once, but I never thought that I will be here, talking about Master Ray. But I'm really fortunate and thankful. So first I want to thank Honorable Chief Minister uh, for talking to me, and I also spoke to her. And thank you, Raj. Thank you, June. Thank you. I think that anybody will understand what I am thinking. It's not that he didn't have any other talent who could do his poster. It was his compulsion that he did the poster, or it was his compulsion possibly that he did his music. So he did his music, he did his songs, his writing, because কত বোঝাবো কাকে বোঝাবো বুঝিয়ে মানে তাই জন্য সব নিজে, ওনার কোনো কাস্টিং ডিরেক্টর ছিল না, নিজেই করতেন। আমি এইমাত্র পড়লাম যে ওনার কেউ ছিল না, নিজেই সিলেক্ট করে করে দেখতেন। হাউ ডু ইউ গেট দোজ ফেসেস, বিকজ হি লিভড দোজ। And how do you decide that this man was fearless and courageous? I think এখানে যারা বসে আছেন তোমরা সবাই সব দেখে নিয়েছো, পড়েছো, সবই বই পড়েছো, এসেস, রিভিউজ, এভরিথিং। বাট আমার my introduction with Ray is quite একটু ক্রেজি। ছোটবেলায় বাবা, আমার মনে আছে আমি ইচ্ছাপুরে থাকতাম, রাইফেল ফ্যাক্টরির সামনে খেলাধুলা করতাম, ফুটবল। সো মাই ফাদার সেড কি একটা ছবি এসছে, নিয়ে যাবো তোমাকে দেখতে। আমি ঠিক আছে। সো উই ওয়েন্ট। সো আফটারনুন শো ছিল। সো ইট ওয়াজ পথের পাঁচালী, ইট ওয়াজ বিং শোন দেয়ার। সো আমার মনে আছে আমি ঘুমিয়ে পড়েছিলাম। সো ইন ফার্স্ট ভিউইং didn't understand anything what's going on. So নিয়ে গেছি দুপুরবেলা, ঘুমিয়ে পড়েছি। সেকেন্ড আই রিমেম্বার, তারপরে আমি দিল্লি চলে যাই। দিল্লি তো সবাই জানো কিরকম জায়গা, কি জায়গা। ওখানেও স্কুল থেকে একটা শো হয়েছিল। সো ক্লাস 12-এ আই রিমেম্বার এরকম একটা হল ছিল। তো বলেছিল যে পথের পাঁচালী দেখানো হবে, যারা আর কি সিনেমা দেখতে চায়। আমার মনে হয় যখন সিনেমাটা শুরু হয়েছিল 10 মিনিটের মধ্যে হলে কেউ ছিল না, সবাই বাইরে বেরিয়ে চলে গেছিল। সবাই মানে নিজের মতন কি দেখবো। অ্যান্ড তারপরে থিয়েটার করতে শুরু করি, কেমন করে কি করি। লার্নিং রে, ইট ওয়াজ নট অ্যাবাউট টেকনিক্স, ইট ওয়াজ নট অ্যাবাউট কোথায় ক্যামেরা বসিয়েছে, কাকে নিয়েছে, কি করে করেছে, হাউ দ্য স্ক্রিপ্ট। মাই হোল আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং ওয়াজ, I just wanted to know this man. Who is this person who could tell me this story like this, Who is this person behind? Is he bideshe oneke bole a mystic, there's a lot of mysticism in his films. So I tried to understand, where does this come from, mysticism? Was he a spiritual man that was directing a film? Was he an awakened personality? So that I wanted to understand. And তারপরে ওই যে ছবি দেখতে শুরু করলাম, তাতে কি হলো যে I tried to find that mystic element. And I always feel that when you're aware of your reality, that itself is mystic and mysticism. So his films, যখন আমি মুম্বাই in Shreveport, Delhi, and একটা ইভিনিং শো, নাইটে একটা পথের পাঁচালী দেখানো হচ্ছিল, 9 o'clock show. I remember I sat there, and তখন মানে থিয়েটার করতে করতে একটা কোথাও না কোথাও একটু পড়াশোনা হয়েছিল, অনেক ওয়ার্ল্ড সিনেমাও দেখেছি। তখন গিয়ে আমি ফার্স্ট অ্যাকচুয়ালি পথের পাঁচালী দেখি at Shreveport. আমার মনে হচ্ছে, I think I will be, I was around 27 or 20 years old. And at that age, then that film actually hit me hard. And since that day, there was another show of the same film. Next day, I again went and watched that film. Then again there was 3-4 more films, and I watched those films, and I just went back and I started reading upon and studying upon. I was in a little trance on that after watching those films. তখনও বাংলা ছবির সাথে আমার কোনো একটা ওইভাবে একটা অ্যাসোসিয়েট, there was no so if as a person, if things are there, you know, it will naturally flow and you will not know where it flowed. I mean, you know, it will naturally flow in your shots, in your characterization, in your makeup, in your dialogues, in your costumes, anything. So this mysticism or this spiritual element, I think, of course, there was a family of Brahmo Samaj and everything else from his father, his grandfather, Tagore. Everything came possibly from there, and that belief in supreme consciousness, possibly. Am I speaking too much? An athlete. I have nothing to do with, never studied art or literature or anything, so ashepasheo chilam na. But this man just brought me into my senses. So ki kore, it's very difficult to express. I will just give you certain expressions. আমি যেরকম রত্নাদি বললো বাঙালি হয়ে বাইরে ছিলাম, সো পুরোপুরি বাঙালি হতে পারেনি, কিন্তু সবসময় চেষ্টা করে গেছি। আমার ছোট ইনসিডেন্ট একটা মনে আছে, আমার অফিসের ঢুকলেই সত্যজিৎ রায়ের ফিল্মের পোস্টার্স রাখা আছে। সো যেই আসে সবাইকে বলি এইটা দেখা, হ্যাঁ এটা সত্যজিৎ রায়। আচ্ছা, বাঙালি ডিরেক্টর? না, বাঙালি না, ইজ এন ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ডিরেক্টর। সো 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 যেই ঢোকে অফিসে সেই আমার দেখে পোস্টার, আমি তুমি দেখেছো সত্যজিৎ রায়? বলেন না, আমি দেখিনি। তো তখনই আমার হয়ে যায় কি না, এর সাথে তো কাজ হবে না আমার, তো ওইটা শিওর শট হয়ে যায় মোরালেস। তো যাকেই বলি তুমি দেখেছো? না, দেখিনি। আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ দেখেছি। সো মোর কমার্শিয়াল, বিকজ ইটস মোর, সবাই বলে না কি না, একটু ডিপ ছবি না গিয়ে একটু শান্তিতে একটা ছবি দেখবো। আই থিঙ্ক সত্যজিৎ রায়'s film is that. আমি শান্তিতে, for me a car chase is quite traumatic. No, it is. I'm telling you, it's quite traumatic for me. মেরে দিয়ে উড়ে গেল, এত রক্ত বেরোলো, it's quite traumatic. Somebody gives me a lot of positivity, lot of optimism, even if it's a tragedy. Somebody shows me life. Somebody entertains me and tells me, no, you can live in this world. So I started finding out who this man is. Why is that his films have very spiritual nature. Pother Panchali, there's abundance of light, there's abundance of daylight, there's an abundance of nature, of environment in that village. There's a lot of abundance of hope in those eyes. They're running behind that sweet seller. Not that they will get that seller, not that they can buy. They just want to be with that man in case he gives one sandesh to them and they can eat it. So it's just that hope and that beauty of life, that everyday life, everyday reality. His first trilogy is my almost like a manual guide. আমার ছবিতে, অনেক ছবিতেই আমি এই তিনটে ছবির whatever his expressions are, I've tried to take them. I've tried to adapt it in my films. Then I remember Gupi Gain, Bhagabain, Hero Prajar Deshe. Everybody talked about the politics of ki kore mogoj dhulai and everything else, but amar jonno it was not important. For me, the important thing was when they go to that land, that fairy tale land, and people are in mourn and they don't talk. They're in silence. And when you are in supreme consciousness, I think silence is all about. Buddhism or Veda or everybody says that silence is your ultimate truth. I think he says ekhane pakhi ache, ei ache, oi ache, shukh ache, shanti ache. I think that was Ray. All the other things was, of course, elements to make the film, but actually I felt that was Ray. Sometimes I feel everybody tells that he's a multi-talented director. I sometimes feel, no, at some point he was not multi-talented. Of course he had a talent, but maybe a compulsion made him to do his music. There was a lot of curiosity that I wanted to know more. ছবি বারবার দেখতে শুরু করলাম।
আমি ইন্টারফেয়ার করে this is a request to all.
There was no so if as a person, if things are there, it will naturally flow and you will not know where it flowed. I mean, it will naturally flow in your shots, in your characterization, in your makeup, in your dialogues, in your costumes, anything. So this mysticism or this spiritual element, I think, of course, there was a family of Brahmo Samaj and everything else, from his father and his grandfather, Tagore. Everything came possibly from there, and that belief in supreme consciousness, possibly. Am I speaking too much? Value to it. আমার টিচার ছোটবেলায় একটা ছোট্ট গল্প বলতো, লেখো মোরাল অফ দ্য স্টোরি। সবাই আমার ছোটবেলায় মোরাল অফ দ্য স্টোরি লিখতাম। How it's possible that there is not a moral of a story? Stories are all about moral values or wisdom, what you see around. What you feel. I mean, how you take the world. What's it observing? What are you observing? That's what cinema is all about. It just, I mean, art is all about that. I mean, what is art if it doesn't motivate you or it doesn't have any wiseness in terms of your wisdom, your values, and if I can't see the director through his films, that what kind of a person he would be. I have not met him. I would love to meet him, but through his films I know him, and I can really tell him that, see him through. I can see his presence in every frame, in the film that he's talking. He's conversing with me. He's talking to me. It's just he used his techniques in many ways. ওই যে বলে না যে ফাইনালি তো খাবারটা খাবো, সে তুমি হাতা দিয়ে দাও, খুন্তি দিয়ে দাও, চামচ দিয়ে দাও, ডাজন্ট ম্যাটার, খাবারটা খেতে হবে। So I think that's what he did. He used all these elements, all this, just to feed that be a conscious human. The camera. Whatever I've read, the glimpses of, it was such a beautiful intellectual partnership between Ray and Vijay. I mean, it was just a huge collaboration, I would say. But we never talk about it. I mean, whatever sense I could get that, yes, Ray has said that, the first person that to read the script is Mrs. Vijay Ray. She would read the script and she will point out, so that's just, and I'm sure she must have been the worst critic also. And he must have done some changes on that. He must have maneuvered things. There must be some kind of a sanity which possibly she was providing, which we don't know. Not as a wife, but as just a storyteller, as a person, as an artist possibly. I remember she said, and he also said, that she would do casting for many people. She would point out faces, she will look at the eyes, she will put some bindis and she will get the jewelry and the sari, and there are many things that she will be I won't say a critic, but a collaborator.
Hey guys, this is Sharmila Maiti from Sharmila Showhouse, and please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to push the bell button. Also subscribe to our lifestyle, review, Delhi and travel channel in YouTube. This is Sharmila Maiti from Sharmila Showhouse, and please like my page and don't forget to push the bell button. In order to get more videos on regular basis, please make this page favorites in your newsfeed. Thank you.